This is how I'm going to have to record my video. So my graphic organizer has been divided into 3 different parts for each aspect that is impacted by language development. The first one is the personal aspect. One of the things that Dr. Sheets mentions in her book is that without communication, whether that's inside of the home or outside of the home, children will in turn have low self-worth because they need to be able to communicate to feel like they belong. Whereas hearing children have easy access to relationships because most of their communication is verbal. Most of communication in general is verbal. But both aspects of, both deaf children and hearing children use communication to express their needs and their thoughts and their feelings. The second part is the social aspect of language development. And deaf children have a significant lack of access to communication compared to hearing children. Deaf children who are born into hearing families get put into hearing schools, and therefore they struggle with relationships, unless of course they have the privilege of attending a school for the deaf where their socialization skills and desires for relationship increase. Hearing children are born into hearing families, put into hearing schools, and therefore invited into hearing relationships, which makes a big difference. But a quote from Dr. Sheets' book says, "Feelings of love and acceptance are conveyed through communication that originates in the family and is later experienced with the confines of educational setting and society." The third aspect is the cultural aspect of language development. ASL sign language is a minority. Those who use ASL and sign language are a minority group, and those who use spoken communication are the majority. That both groups are diverse, but those who are deaf are brought together by their language because they use a manual form or a visual form of communication, whereas diversity tends to separate those who are hearing based on language. Both sides of the spectrum, those who are hearing and those who are deaf, use language to express and model the values and the norms and the ideals of their cultures and society, as well as express expectations for behavior and thinking and communication and all things involved. My sources came from Dr. Sheets' book, Deaf Education in the 21st Century. I reference page 202 to 218, which is chapter 11.